Oh man, these AI videos are just getting absolutely ridiculous.
Alright, stop, collaborate and listen. I sit back with my brand new invention.
All of this as it's been a pretty bad week for the establishment neocon right-wing voices that have been fact-checked and called out now in record numbers as Megyn Kelly has come out and shown receipts of a major allegation that Tucker Carlson revealed that highlights some very important things regarding the future of MAGA. Charlie Kirk, TP USA, his legacy here, as of course a lot of people are saying Tucker Carlson was just vindicated. Matt Gaetz has some interesting comments to say about this, as of course Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin are seething now as they specifically are also trying to use Charlie's legacy. That I think it's far more convoluted. Now, who should be using Charlie's legacy? No one, except Charlie's family, in my own personal opinion. But right now, there is a MAGA civil war, and it is becoming more one-sided than ever, as now there are more canceling efforts being pushed against Megyn Kelly. Anyone who dares to say, yeah, guys, you guys are wrong, cancel them now. As of course, so many people are just being viciously attacked. Brett Cooper, another person, spoke out against a lot of the nonsense, a lot of the insanity, a lot of the people saying, no, we should not care about America, and it, boom, cancel them. As now there are major efforts to cancel Megyn Kelly for not disavowing Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson didn't disavow Nick Fuentes. And again, it's just getting all so tiresome. And therefore, we have this very ridiculous situation that we're going to be talking about in this particular video. And if you find these particular comments interesting and important, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all of your support as we are negative 730 subscribers in the last 28 days. That's not good. So please subscribe if you haven't yet. It means a lot to us. Now, Megyn Kelly came out in an interview that she just posted right now, highlighting some very interesting receipts where she played a clip of Charlie Kirk telling Tucker Carlson to go max. Now, this was at the Student Action Summit that happened. I was there in attendance for this particular speech, and it is true. Tucker Carlson didn't hold anything back. He went after Bill Ackman. He came out and said that the Jeffrey Epstein operation was a foreign intelligence Israeli operation that was extorting and blackmailing American politicians. Now, here's Megyn Kelly playing the clip in her own words, as you could clearly see Charlie when he was still alive, behind the scenes, backstage, right before Tucker Carlson took the stage and went off with what looks like the full approval of Charlie Kirk that was dealing with a lot of donors that were putting pressure on him, that were trying to extort him, manipulate him, calling him anti-Semitic, calling him all these horrible names, were acting very bad to him. And it looks like Charlie Kirk just had enough. And listen, there's some other things that were happening behind the scenes with Andrew Cuomo. They're also very important here, as he came to the FBI right after what happened to Charlie with some other interesting text messages, receipts that were originally released by Candace that were confirmed that the FBI currently maybe still is looking into. But here's the clip that a lot of people are talking about. Go Max. Now, the two allegedly had conversations like, hey, you know, how do you want me to handle this? What do you want me, you know, like, there's a lot of drama. And Tucker is always very respectful. I think he understands how to read the room. He understands how the situation is unfolding. And he even talked about, yeah, Charlie faced an immense amount of pressure. He even came out, I believe he said Charlie was being tormented by a lot of the donors that were mad at him. And of course, you know, Tucker, the most likely scenario and situation came out that happened behind the scenes was Tucker kind of came to Charlie, hey, how do you want me to handle this? This is your stage. This is your event. Your donors are mad at you for me. That probably was the conversation. And then you see Charlie, and then luckily there was a video camera there saying go Max. Now, a lot of people were saying when Tucker was talking about this, he was lying. He was making this up. Doesn't look like it.
found a video of me, Tucker, and Charlie speaking backstage right before Tucker went out.
Now, this is important because at that event, I also remember Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, went after Pam Bondi to the point where Donald Trump literally called Charlie Kirk afterwards and was like, why are you attacking Pam Bondi? Why are your top speakers attacking Pam Bondi? Stop it. And then he released multiple Truth social media posts saying Pam Bondi's great. She's incredible. She has a Bermuda Triangle on her desk where files just go missing. And she goes to Congress and never has any type of criminal indictments after talking extensively about criminal behavior. He didn't say that. I'm being facetious here. But during that time, there was a lot of pushback from this administration against Charlie, against the top speakers for going after Pam Bondi, as of course this was in the middle of the whole Epstein debacle. Like walking around SAS, the TPUSA conference, everyone was like, Epstein, what the hell is he doing? Epstein, like, why are they handling this so badly? Like, why are they not telling us the truth? As of course the DOJ released an unsigned memo saying, shut up, go home, nothing to see here, no blackmail, no extortion, no foul play. Epstein, the official version of him taking himself out is absolutely true. Shut up, go home, case closed. And everyone's like, yo, whoa, what the hell's going on here? And then Tucker came on stage and was like, this is bullcrap. They're lying to you. And Tucker was right.
Tucker and I were talking. Charlie came over and interrupted for just a second. And you can hear him on this tape, which I've listened to many times. It's very clear on my phone, less clear here probably as we play it. But he says to Tucker, go Max. He interrupts the conversation because he has to say to Tucker something. And what was so important to him to tell Tucker was, go Max. Here it is.
Go Max. Come on.
It's quick. It just happens to be on tape. And it backs up what Tucker said. And so I just think we need to be realistic. Charlie understood what was happening to the conservative movement over Israel. He probably understood it better than any of us because he absolutely loved Israel.
Yeah, but also at the same time, he understood that the administration's policies, which were focused on helping predominantly Israel, were backfiring, and a lot of people were having some significant questions about it. And you see that still continuing with a lot of the Q&A questions, with a lot of the younger students always having a legitimate issue with it, as Charlie Kirk was literally going to this Trump administration during the midst of potentially them bombing Iran, saying, don't bomb Iran. This is a big mistake. Why are we doing this? We should be focusing on America. And Charlie was literally trying to stop the bombing of Iran. Right? Because it's a legitimate issue that a lot of people on the right weren't too happy about. Now, before playing the rest of this clip, and before getting into more of the kind of context here, specifically with Ben Shapiro and all these other people, because there's a lot of other nuance and drama that's unfolding right now. Before getting into all of that and a lot more, we just quickly wanted to remind you, check out takecalm.com. That is our official website where we have our CBD. It looks like there is going to be a hemp ban that was just snuck into the spending bill, which means CBD probably won't be available anymore. Get your supplies while supplies last, because a lot of people, in my circles at least, depend on this stuff. Like, they love this stuff. And this is some of the purest, best stuff grown in America, produced in America, manufactured in America. It's not psychoactive. It doesn't get you high. It is mainly an anti-inflammatory, calms your nervous system down, relaxes me personally, helps me meditate, helps me deal with the stresses of life. And a lot of people that I know that are dealing with like panic attacks and anxiety attacks, this personally helps them. Will it help you? I don't know. It depends on your system. If you're downing 10 coffees a day and you're taking this stuff and it's like, not helping me, stop downing 10 coffees a day. Stop draining your adrenals and your nervous system. Stop destroying yourself without taking breaks from work, without proper sleep, without proper exercise, without proper diet. Work that out. This is just an additive that has personally helped me out so much. Like, I still have it around me. I have it everywhere. I don't travel without this stuff. I have it by my desk. I have it in my car. I have it by my second desk. I have it all around me. Why? Because if I ever revert back, I used to have like panic attacks and anxiety attacks all the time. I should just take it. Personally, it helped me. Just deal with it right away. Might help you, might not. I don't like making these larger claims. But listen, before there is a ban, you want to make sure you get the cleanest, best quality. This is the highest quality, cleanest. You don't want to trust CBD from random black markets or gas stations. Some of the best stuff out there. TakeCalm.com. Get it while supplies last, and while legally we could still sell it, because everything still is very unclear right now. TakeCalm.com. Trust me. Once you get this stuff, you're going to understand how amazing and incredible it is. Now, let's go back to Megyn Kelly here. Because again, now there's efforts to cancel her. Why? Because she's saying stuff like this.
And yet he represented and was of young people. He was young. That was his constituency. That's where he spent all of his time. And he knew that even on the right side of the aisle, they had turned and were turning on Israel. And knowing all of that, he told Tucker to go out there and do all the things Tucker did. Go Max.
And Tucker went Max. I was there. I was like, what? Tucker just said, what? Everyone in the room was like, whoa, wow. Because he went off about Epstein. He went off about foreign influence. He went off about the big donor class. And he didn't pull any punches.
He said, now, why did he do that? Because he knew there was a faction within the conservative movement that needed a voice. They needed somebody to put their thoughts and their complaints and their objections into words in a public setting and not just cede the whole argument to the other side, which has been dominating conservative thought and media forever. You know, the Mark Levins.
And intimidating and bullying people and saying, you better not express this. You better not talk about America first. You better not talk about Christ first. You better not say Christ is king. You better not say any of that. You say that, we'll label you a bad name. We'll cancel you. We'll deplatform you as they're making phone calls. Like, you don't understand. Like the Rubens, the Shapiros, they're making the phone calls behind the scenes, being like, we don't like this person because they're not 100% on board with us. They're not saying everything we want them to say. You can't give them we don't want you to give them an opportunity. We want you to fire them. We don't want you giving them contracts. We don't want you interviewing them. And then a lot of people behind the scenes are like, okay, yes, sir. That's what happens behind the scenes. And it's pretty awful.
Of the world. And so it's one of the many reasons why I really object to this attempt to otherize, snuff out the voice of Tucker Carlson. Charlie knew exactly where Tucker stood on these issues and wanted him, and I quote, to go Max. The answer to what is happening right now on the conservative half of the aisle is not to silence Tucker, to diminish him to the point where he doesn't have followers. Not that that's possible, you lunatics, or to try to delegitimize Tucker. If anything, Tucker is a remaining voice for Charlie, whose views were changing himself.
Yep, and there was even text messages that were revealed saying, hey, stop platforming Tucker. And then Charlie being like, let's give him 2 speaking spots instead of 1. I might even bring back Candace. That was what was in his mind, and that kind of matters here. Now, according to Ben Shapiro, and according to a lot of the other establishment right-wing neocons, that's not the case at all. And Charlie was 100% in line with their different kind of political opinions. And again, listen, Charlie was getting a lot of pressure from a lot of donors to cancel Tucker, and he stood behind Tucker. A lot of the main big funders of TP USA, a lot of the big time money people that were saying, fall in line, do what we tell you to do. And Charlie was like, no, we are not going to do that. And now we're left with all these kind of conversations and debates as we have individuals like Mark Levin coming out and saying, Tucker Carlson, he's a fascist, he's a neo-Nazi, right-wing radical. As Mike Cernovich said, this is just a call to violence against them. And it is. Mark Levin released text messages being like, how dare you try to have a debate with me at TP USA events? Well, that's what Charlie wanted. Charlie wanted debates. He wanted a conversation. He hosted, during that same Tucker Carlson speech during the SAS event, he hosted a very important debate between Josh Hammer and Dave Smith. An important debate. And he got criticism for even doing that. Would he want, personally, to probably have a debate between Mark Levin and Tucker Carlson? That would have been incredible. And that's what TPUSA wants. They want debate. They want conversation. They want to allow the court of public opinion to decide what is the best idea. And Mark Levin released Tucker Carlson's private text messages with them and said, "How dare you? How dare you be disrespectful to Charlie's legacy?" I don't think he is. I think he's being very respectful to it. And if there's anyone carrying the torch, because I know as soon as Charlie kind of passed, a couple days later, there was a conversation, who's going to lead the torch? And again, there was a lot of efforts for the establishment right saying, we're going to do it. But listen, this is not the same type of messaging that Charlie Kirk agrees with, as of course they are very different. As Ben Shapiro recently was doing an interview on trigonometry, where he kind of went off and specifically represented the antithesis of everything Charlie stood up against.
Live here. If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, then maybe you should not live here. I mean, that is a real thing. Yeah, I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew up, but the reality is that the history of America is almost literally the opposite of that. The history of America is you go to a place where there is opportunity. And if the opportunities are limited here and they're not changing, then you really should try to think about other places where you have better opportunities. If you're
Yeah, go to Mexico. It's cheap down there. Leave your homeland. Who cares about your homeland? He cares about his homeland, but yeah, your land doesn't matter. And again, Tucker Carlson just rips into a lot of these ideas. He rips into a lot of the kind of criticisms and the backlash he's been facing in a very bold way, where we got to give respect, and we have to understand that there are very serious threats against Tucker, his safety, his well-being, his platforms, his ability to make money. As now, Megyn Kelly's being canceled for not disavowing Tucker Carlson. And again, all this like disavow, you better disavow, you better not platform, you better not. And I'm like, stop policing. Like, we have serious problems that we're dealing with against the left, right? And a section of the right wants to police and finger wag the right and cancel the right and destroy the right. And I disagree with this on multiple ways. I disagree with this with the canceling efforts against Brett Cooper, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson. I disagree with this when it comes to the Republicans going after Thomas Massie. What are you doing? We're all in the same party here, right? Can we stop attacking each other? Can we stop trying to destroy each other? As right now, this is not the time to finger wag here. This is the time to understand the importance of this particular moment and to not squander it and destroy it by destroying ourselves. But guess what? That's wishful thinking, as right now we're destroying ourselves.
The main criticism, as I understand it, has been, well, yes, platforming. They say that. I don't accept platforming as a valid objection.
What is that a verb, by the way? You take a noun and you make it into a verb and nobody says anything? As a former editor, I say no.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Honestly, but as far as I know, Nick Fuentes hasn't eaten anyone. You know, I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer ate people, and he was platformed by Diane Sawyer.
Dude, we have a sitting member of Congress. I spoke to the Speaker of the House about this today. We have a sitting member of Congress from Florida called Randy Fine, who was literally texted or put on Twitter, we should kill them all. Every single one. Someone texted a picture of literally a dead baby, and he laughs at it.
Yeah. You would think that would be more offensive than someone saying other offensive things on the internet. Now, again, the internet now is filled with people saying a lot of wild, crazy stuff. Is this the time to police speech? No. But if you are, there's a layer of hypocrisy when you're like, how dare this person say something disgusting? All the babies need to be taken out. Nuke that place. Make it into a parking lot. Don't say offensive things. You hypocrite. And there's so many of these hypocrites.
And it's like, this guy's a lawmaker who's appropriating money to a military committing genocide, and that's cool? It's not cool.
No.
And let's just be honest. That is much worse than anything Nick Fuentes has said, period.
So the main pushback has been when you had Jeffrey Dahmer or the Ku Klux Klan, or et cetera, these journalists went after them, like exposed the terrible things. And Nick Fuentes has said, a long list of very vile things.
Big time, including attacking my dad, which was the most vile of all, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way you could have gotten to 6 million, seems to be his theory. He seems to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms, which I mean, so what do you say to those people? Say, why didn't you raise any of that?
You know, do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him.
Great question by Megyn Kelly, right? And this is the battle of ideas that I love to see. Other people are like, you got to control the battle of ideas, so it's only my idea that gets out there. You're pathetic and weak. Stop it with the nonsense. Stop it with the policing of speech. Again, what do you think is going to be happening next in this type of MAGA civil war? Because I think it's pretty clear we have a winner here. What do you think? Who's the winner? The establishment or the anti-establishment? Let me know down in the comment section below. Get your CBD while supplies last. While legally we could still potentially do this. And again, best stuff on the market. Can't recommend this stuff enough. I love this stuff. I literally have it everywhere. Anyway, I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechanged.